Yes, indeed, folks, you are listening to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com with myself, Total Biscuit. Baby party. I hate charities and I want Middle Eastern children to die horribly because I'm a complete twat. Yes, that's the sound of the haters, who I might add are going to hate. So it says in the good book, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to read from the good book of internet ponage, which inexplicably looks like a Warhammer 40,000 novel. Chapter 3, verses 2 to 7. And lo, did Husky say, haters, they be gon' hate, and they are impotent. They have no influence, no life, no crib, and they be getting up in my grill. However, I have this orange Lambo, and many more subscribers than they do. Here endeth the lesson. Also tell me what of the Night Haunter. The Emperor betrayed my gene-father. Even without the great heresy's ideals, the need for vengeance alone would be enough for me to live my life only to see the Imperium fall? He didn't say that at all. This is a lie. Ugh. Yeah, it's not a very good book, honestly. Of the 40k I have, it's probably not as good as some of the others. 40k books are generally a little bit pulpy, to say the least. Who, ladies and gentlemen, who wants to do some dev chat? Who wants to do some dev chat is brought to you by Best Buy? Nobody, I would hope. But you just prefer to do some dev chat because you don't need corporate sponsorship on a bloody dev chat. It's not an event, it's a dev chat. It's the kind of thing that they've been doing for the last 6 years. Now apparently they feel the need to sell advertising on it. Hey, bloody wonderful. Ha. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Right. I shall be visiting MMO Champion for this. If you so desire, you can read along with me. I shall put this one in for you in the chat room. There you go. If you are listening to the podcast, I shall put the link in the show notes on CynicalBrit.com. This will take as long as it takes, always. You know, sometimes it takes one segment, sometimes it takes two. We shall get on with it. You know the format for this by now. I do it every time they do a Q&A or a dev chat of any description. So, yeah. Let's kick it off. Let's make it happen. The first section is Cataclysm General. I would like to point out to people that this is the first question they asked. No? Very, very, very important. Has Blizzard considered adding a Tabards tab to the UI so that Tabard collectors can switch out Tabards more effectively without having to take up bank and bag space? Thanks. That's from Death and Holy on Galacrond. Those watching you on cam right now, of course, bear in mind that the camera is, of course, behind, or indeed ahead, of the audio stream. Of course it is, it's got nothing to do with each other, but in my hand I hold a very, very small screwdriver from Maplin. I have the desire right now to take this screwdriver and jam it into my eye socket. In fact, I may do just that. Oh dear. Is that the best you could come up with? Oh my god, I've got this unique opportunity to ask Blizzard anything I so desire. The burning question on my mind right now is whether or not we can have a Tabard keyring. Oh! Really? Is that... there's not even that many Tabards to worry about switching between. But it's for the RP! Oh, wow! I don't know what goes on in the minds of most WoW players, but if it's like this, then I totally understand why Wrath was as bad as it was. We're catering to the majority, and the majority can barely tie their own shoes in the morning, let alone do anything of note with their lives. The answer: we've talked about adding a Tabard tab, and we have all these great pun-tastic ideas for it. We've talked about doing a closet tab to handle it. It isn't something we're adding for Cataclysm, though. Now, what you put on the end of there is, why did you send us such a dumb question? That is so far down our list of development priorities that, in fact, it's come out the other side. It's in a different frickin' time zone. Question 2. This surely will be better, right? Guys, please tell me it's going to be better. Please. Oh dear. Will you allow players to fill their quest log with, say, 25 dailies, then turn them right in after midnight on December 7th to get a quick boost towards 85? This is how it worked in the beta, but some people are confused as to whether or not it'll work in live. Are you serious? Oh, man. So, the next question is whether or not it is possible to gain a very, very small boost of experience after Cataclysm launches by doing a bunch of Wrath dailies, because of course those are the most exciting things I can think of. That's the second question. Unbelievable. Answer. Regarding 25 daily quests to turn in when the expansion goes live. This is something players have been able to do for the last 2 expansions. We aren't talking about changing it now. You heard it here first, folks. You can get 1% of that XP bar. Get on it. Get on it now! Let's ignore the fact, of course, that experience goes like way up in Cataclysm, as does the quest rewards for said experience, and ergo the 25 quests that you do before you actually go into Cataclysm are basically going to make no difference at all. But congratulations on wasting your time on Wrath dailies the night before Cataclysm goes live. That's surely what you want to do. I need that last fix. Gotta get my fix. Gotta get my last fix of Wrath. Inject it into my veins! How do they work? Question 3. I understand the decision from an economic perspective, but I was wondering if the developers were disappointed in the decision to allow race changes immediately following the release of the expansion. I like this. It's like there's some embattled thing going on within Blizzard right there. The developers are battling out with the marketing guys. The marketing guys are sort of lobbing artillery shells over at the small island of PR guys over there. There's big international incident going on. And then you've got Mike Morhaime sort of as the warlord, leader of the evil Russian Space Federation or whatever, prepared to aim this giant microwave laser cannon at Los Angeles. And then there's this guy in this Space Marine suit, but it's not like a normal Space Marine suit. It's a really fast Space Marine suit. And that's Chris Metz in there. He's actually in the Space Marine suit, and he's sort of skating around and smoking, looking like a really cool dude. And wait a minute, that's Vanquish, isn't it? Whatever the case, that's exactly what's happening. That's what I imagine happening within the Blizzard HQ right now. And if it's not, I'll be highly disappointed. Answer. Regarding allowing race faction change on day 1, actually this wasn't an economic decision at all. This was a decision that the leadership team made. The leadership team? Okay. Our priority as dev team is to allow players to play the game with their friends the way they want to. Is it? Huh, okay. Cool, excellent. Right, so bearing that in mind, would you kindly explain to me why, for the last 6 years, despite many people actually requesting it, and the fact that it blatantly works because we have done cross-realm play with US players in the beta with absolutely no problems whatsoever, why I'm not able to play with people in the US? Why can I, 1, not do cross-realm to them, or 2, not transfer a character from EU to US, or vice versa? Why is that exactly? If your priority is to allow me to play my game with my friends. You know, for 2 years I was over in the States, and I would have loved to have been able to do that. Problem is I can't do that. And of course, play the game with friends, like at some kind of LAN, for instance. Yes, at some kind of gathering whereby people actually go in. Let me give you an example, folks. So we were at the LAN Center, and the only problems we ever had with the network at the LAN Center was whenever you loaded StarCraft 2, it every time had to download maps, which use a torrent-based system and lag the entire LAN's connection. They have a least freaking line, and all you needed to do to lag everyone's game beyond 500 ping was log in to Battle.net. But of course it's our priority to allow you to play games the way that you choose with your friends, unless of course you want to do the sensible things, because we won't allow that, because you know what? The technology's just not there yet. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, playing League of Legends or Black Ops with 500 ping, enjoy that, folks! Quadra kill in their favour. Why? Because I don't know, we're stuck in the middle lane and we can't move. Oh, wow. Anyway. We also talked about the fact that this is a week 1 problem, so we made the decision not to restrict anything. So yeah, you should be able to do the race changes immediately afterwards, which is good, because that means people will be able to do all that stuff, and we'll be able to change to Troll. Remember, if you're in Trollface, which now has 2,400 members, I believe, and you are not a troll, you have 3 days to change once Cataclysm goes live. If you do not do that, then you will be kicked out of the guild. That would be bad for you. Will Darnassus be rebuilt to be a real tree? How do you build a tree? Explain this to me for a second. Well, of course, you use the genetic cellular... Let's try that one again. The Gnomish Genetic Cellular Regenerationatron 5000 to rebuild the tree. Building tree... I'm sorry, folks. I just need to go do a few architectural designs on my new dandelions. Will it always look like a dead stump with trees at the top? The answer, but now the Deathwing is doing his thing, it makes it much more sense than it used to, right? Deathwing hates trees. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey!
Not one, but two Jormungandr worms.
Yeah. It's a universal drop-in for effort, folks. This is going really well so far. The Best Buy has truly injected some legitimacy and credibility into the dev chat. It's good that many thousands of dollars that they paid to put their name on this has actually paid off for them, and it's really benefited the community. Question 5. Oh, you can't be serious! You're not asking about this! Why would they print this? Oh no! Oh, if you're reading along with me, you know exactly what I'm looking at, but I'm going to do it. Bear in mind, this was something that's been in the FAQ on the official forums for the past 6 years! It's very common knowledge. A lot of players I know are trying to plan out what characters to roll for the expansion. The big question is, will there be any new realms? Some point to low pop realms as a reason against, but surely, with the Redux 1 to 60 experience and the droves of returning players, they design clean slates. They desire clean slates, do they? Okay. There's never been a better time for a fresh realm or two. No, it's a terrible time for a fresh realm. Absolutely terrible time. Balance and fill up the existing ones, for God's sake, before releasing any others. And it's so stupid, because, like I said, this question is in the FAQs everywhere. When will you release new realms? Because, you know, I wasn't very good on my previous realm, but I want to be the king of the world on this realm. Oh my god, re-rollers, how do they work? We haven't decided exactly what the new realm decisions are yet, say Blizzard, but we've opened up the new realms when there's been player demand for them. One thing we can't do is plan all realms for day one. The goal is for realms to have good concurrency so everyone has a great game and matchmaking experience. Don't even start with matchmaking experience. Don't do that. It's like, we've decided we're going to make all of WoW peer-to-peer and get rid of the dedicated servers. Because you know what? The technology just isn't there yet. So, no dedicated servers for WoW anymore. It's all going to be a lobby. But bear in mind, if everyone's actually in the lobby, it's going to lag really hard. And if the person that set up the WoW lobby leaves, then the entire group gets kicked out of the instance. This isn't going well, is it? Next question. This is actually legitimate, and the answer is awful. With the changes to the game environment itself, what new computer requirements will be optimal to run the game smoothly? Answer. One of the things that is really important to us is the great gaming experience regardless of your hardware. That doesn't answer the question. While our system requirements do go up over time, we do want the experience on slower machines to be great. We do this by trying to add a lot of graphical options to allow players to control the experience from runs fast all the way to looks great. So that didn't answer anything at all, considering those options have been there for the last 6 years. Admittedly, they've added a couple of extras over the past 6 years, but generally speaking, you've had the ability to change your graphics options since day one. So saying, well, you can change your graphics options isn't actually an answer to any of that. I'm going to have to answer it myself, aren't I? For God's sake, I'm going to have to do Blizzard's job right here. Right, as someone who has played the beta, and indeed the alpha, since it started, let me tell you this right now. If the launch is anything like the actual beta itself, then there are a couple of zones that are going to hammer you really, really hard. And of course, bear in mind that even with the limited view distance, flying over high detail areas is going to hit your frame rate. Oldham and Twilight Highlands are two of the worst. In fact, they are the worst, without a shadow of a doubt. Oldham has some areas that just floor your frame rate in an unbelievable way. What I will say, which is good, is that as far as I can tell, there doesn't appear to be any frame rate difference in the capital cities between live servers and also the beta client. So, in Cataclysm, I would expect that your experience in the capital cities is going to be about the same, give or take. Bear in mind, of course, Orgrimmar is probably going to be more popular than the Undercity, but since you've got all of your stuff there and the travel hubs are all over the place, you know, there is no centralized travel hub like Dalaran anymore, so you can justify being in Thunderbluff, you can justify being in indeed, hell, Thunderbluff is actually better for a lot of it anyway, and if you're going down to Oldham, Thunderbluff is a much better place to be than, say, Orgrimmar. So it's nice and spread out, and all the zones you go into are all over the frickin' place, so, yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. That should be good. It's not like Lagaran, as far as I can tell. It performs much better than Dalaran ever did, and that was a good decision on their part. So thank you, Blizzard. There you go. And yes, of course, you do have all sorts of options to change, but as far as I can tell, the options have gone up a bit, like the system requirements have bumped up a little bit. There's a couple of zones that I'm just hoping will be optimized before Cataclysm launch, because if they're not, then, well, yeah. You are going to be getting hit pretty hard in those areas. My name's Total Biscuit. I managed to do a total of 6 questions. This is going to be going on for a while, isn't it? So I'll be coming back with the Best Buy dev chat right after this. This is by Gravedigger. It's called The Hammer of the Scots. Enjoy.